everybody, Jeff Simon here for SocialFlight with another cool building stage on our Titan T-51D Mustang. And today we are going to talk about LED light strips and all the cool things you can do with them inside an aircraft, or at least inside an experimental aircraft. Let's talk a little bit about what these are. So this is, in this case, a white LED light strip that runs on 12 volt power, 12 volt DC power, and is available just straight off of Amazon or any number of sources, eBay, places like that. And they come, in this case, in rolls, lengths. And what's really nice about it is it can be dimmed, and so not only can it be dimmed, but you can actually cut it to different lengths, and it has you have to get high quality, I will tell you that right now, but if you get a high quality type with a very high quality adhesive on the back, which this has a brand 3M high quality adhesive that'll handle all different temperature ranges. You can put it into all different locations and it'll stay even with the heat of a cockpit in summer. In addition to that, you can cut this to length. Now, marked on the actual material itself, I'll zoom in so that you can see that here. There we go. It actually shows you these sections where it can be trimmed. And you can just cut at any one of these sections along the way, and then there's a little bit of a silicone cover you pull back and you can solder to those points as well. It also has the plus and minus for each of those terminals, so you know how that works. Now, to make all of that work, we also do something else that we just bought online very inexpensively, and that is a pulse modulated dimmer. That's a small unit. It looks like this. We've talked about this in previous videos. It has 4 terminals on it that you use. 2 are your inputs and 2 are your outputs to either a motor or an LED. And instead of actually just dimming it the way that a rheostat or some other type of dimmer for an incandescent light would work, this actually chops up the 12 volt pulse, the 12 volt voltage that you're getting, the power source, into pulses that you can't see with the naked eye. And as you get fewer of those, then it actually appears to be dimmer. You get less light out of the LED, and then you can use it in the cockpit, etc. So again, look back, we did another video on that. We go into great detail. Now we are going to use it on our glare shield. Now, one of the things about the glare shield in the Titan Mustang, and it's also true of the regular Mustang, is that you have some pretty sharp edges here, and that's a risk in an accident that your head might go forward if you weren't properly restrained by the seat belts, etc. And you have this sharp metal that could actually do something and cut into your head. So that's important. We want to mitigate, help safety and mitigate risk on that. And at the same time, we need to figure out where we're going to put this lighting where it would do a good job illuminating the cockpit and yet not be something you see clearly, and is really, especially since most of the time you're during the day, you're going to be using the plane. You don't want something to look objectionable, kind of look cheesy. So we came up with this piece here, which I've been playing around with, and it actually works pretty well. So this will be painted as I go to install it. But if I put a strip that's been bent over here at this top area and use that to level it out, what I wind up with is a surface here that wouldn't cut through my, cut into my skull too easily. It's more likely just to deform the metal but not have a sharpened edge and be able to go to the top of the panel. It's not in my line of sight to be away from anything. And then at the same time, on the inside of that, what I can do is actually mount behind, out of sight, those the LEDs on a strip. And so to the pilot from the cockpit, all you see is this, and all painted black and all blending into the glare shield. And now on the other side, here's our LED strip, and we're going to actually get a nice bathed, I've decided to go with white, but you can go for better eyesight protection. Red, blue, there's all different colors that you can use, even multicolor where you can change it. And then that will be on a dimmer down here in the center section of the panel and the pedestal. And then there's going to be another strip that's a little lower, that's at the just above our glove box, that'll go onto the center pedestal. And then one more, we're going to replace the strip in the back that we're using for the rear, for the passenger, the rear pilot, the co-pilot, and they have a control there as well. So as all this stuff starts to get buttoned up, we need to get the electrical part and the lighting part done at the same time. So I'm going to get to work right now putting all of this in place and getting it all wired up so I can see this. And I'm really excited because some of it is, of course, if you're flying at night, you have a very low bathed glow when you need to in the cockpit to see things. And some of it's just going to be nighttime lighting it all up, and either to get in there and do things or just to look really, really cool. So let's get to work putting it together. All right, now that the LED light strip is mounted and adhered to that strip that I made earlier, I'm now going to rivet it onto the glare shield, which I've removed from the aircraft here. I'm going to do this using these pre-painted black rivets. And if you're ever in a situation like this, you can get rivets that are already painted black. They come in white as well. Makes it really easy, so I don't have to repaint all of this at the same time and nothing looks objectionable. So I'm going to rivet that into place, and then I'm going to use RTV to seal the wires down right in the crevice so I won't even see it once it's all in place. I'll use a little bit of painter's tape to hold that in and let it cure. So let's get this step done. All right, I've got the glare shield all mounted up and the wires routed so that I can now test both the panel lighting above and then also below on the center console. So, moment of truth, time to check it out. Put the masters on and then turn the lighting control. Now it's hard to tell from the camera's perspective, but this is very well dimmable. Goes down to a really nice soft glow, and then it can come out nice and bright if you're just using it on the ground and just trying to organize things in the cockpit or something like that. And I'll do the same for the back. And the rear passenger has the same really nice glow, map light, and really infinitely dimmable as well to a really nice low setting. Now again, using a white light is not the best thing for night vision. That would be probably red or something similar to that. I prefer to use white and then keep it on a very low setting. That's just from my experience in the cockpit, and it's just a personal preference. But do what works for you. You can get these lights in any number of colors. So now I have another surprise for you, something else I've been working on and did not demonstrate it and record the build of it because I wanted it just to be a surprise. Let's go take a look at that now. All right, so now use your imagination a little bit because the side skin is not on, but this is where the baggage door would be. And if you open up the baggage door and you reach inside, there is a hidden switch in here. If you push that switch, everything lights up, both in the baggage compartment as well as back in the tail cone area. Now you ask, why would you want the rear part of the fuselage to light up like that? Well, there's a couple reasons. One is because this door is all plexiglass. It's part of our pre-flight. You can look in through the baggage compartment at everything that's going on, where you got a lot of systems going on back here, and it's a really easy way to look at that. Now with one switch, all of that which normally would be dark is completely lit up. And I did that by not requiring the master to be on, but instead putting a fuse directly through where the battery comes, so it's protected, but you don't need to climb into the cockpit and have the master on in order to do that. The switch is protected in the location that it's in here, and it lights all of this up at once. And then there's another reason to do this as well, and that's on the other side of the aircraft, and I'll show you that right now. Okay, less imagination required over on this side because this side skin is in place, and this is our access panel for maintenance. And you know, a lot of times when you're working on an aircraft, of course, you need to use flashlights. There's a lot that you need to do the minute you get into a rear empennage of an aircraft or tail cone or anything like that. It's hard to see things. But in this case, the same system that makes it easy to pre-flight allows us to do maintenance, because everything back here where all the major systems are just lights up now. You just remove that large panel from here and it all is available. Easy to see and easy to work on. I'm even going to use it during the build process in order to see all this. So I'm very excited with how all of this came together. I love putting all these finishing touches on before we close this up. So thanks for watching all of this. And of course, be sure to check out SocialFlight.com and the free apps for Apple and Android devices. We have tens of thousands of aviation events and destinations. The Fly to Win Challenge, we're giving away tons of prizes. There's just so much going on. You have to get to SocialFlight.com and check it out for yourself. And of course, every Tuesday night we have Social Flight Live with some of the most amazing people from all around space and aviation. You just get to meet them and get a wonderful evening of discussion with some of these just incredible human beings that make our world so wonderful. Until next time, I'm Jeff Simon for Social Flight with another cool building stage on our Titan T-51D Mustang, and I wish you all blue skies.